Alright, once you get to the bottom of the elevator, you're going to follow this path around. You're going to head to the southwest up the stairs. You're going to go through here and then head up these stairs and across the bridge to the next boss, Malkorok. Okay, so Malkorok is another transmog only boss, and he's a pretty simple, straightforward tank and spank. Just try to stay out of the stuff that he's going to put on the ground, and you'll be good. Alright, when Malkorok is down, you just loot his corpse. You're going to take the bridge the opposite direction that you came in from, head down the stairs and over here into the center. So once you're down here to the center, you're going to want to take this group of enemies here and kill them. I recommend that you do so by pulling them kind of away from this area. Grab everything and pull it kind of over here and then kill it. The reason for that is what you are wanting to do is you're wanting to flip this switch right here. This switch will let your allies come in, and they're going to kind of set up shop here. This is one of the only place during the raid, I believe, where you are able to access a repair vendor. So I recommend that you go ahead and do that when you get the chance. Empty out your bags and repair your gear, because we pretty much have about the same amount of bosses left after this point. Okay, so from here, we're going to head into this passageway, into the Underhold Nexus. Okay, so once we're up here, there's going to be 3 different doors. 2 of them are unlocked, 1 of them is locked. You have to go through the 2 unlocked doors and kill the bosses before the locked door will open. You can go either direction. We're going to head to the south, or to the southwest here, and go through this door to take us to the next boss. Okay, so once you come through that door, you're going to come into the artifact storage area, where the next boss is going to be the Spoils of Pandaria. The Spoils of Pandaria drop transmog loot. And this is kind of a more complicated fight. It's not really difficult, it just can be confusing, and there's a lot of ways to screw it up if you don't know what you're doing. So I'm going to talk about the fight now, and then I'll give some more suggestions during the actual fight itself. So you're going to see that there are kind of 4 different sections here around the spoils. To start the encounter, you're going to talk to the secured stockpile of Pandarian spoils right here. There's going to be some roleplay stuff that you have to listen to. Once you do, you're going to see for each of these 4 different sections, there are these barricades up. What's going to happen is 2 diagonally opposite barricades are going to go down. So if this one goes down, then the one over here will go down as well. That's going to allow you access into these sections on the map. All these little squares here are boxes. You're going to have to go into this place, open boxes, and kill enemies to fill up a bar. Once you've filled up the bar, you will flip a switch, and then you're going to go to the opposite room and do the same thing. Now, the reason that I wanted to explain this now is because this is all on a timer. Once you've cleared both of those rooms, the other 2 rooms that weren't open initially will open. The timer will reset, and you do it all over again. That's really all there is to the fight. One of the key things you want to remember is don't leave anything alive in these sections. You don't have to open all the boxes to fill the bars, but if you have opened a box and there's an enemy down there that's still alive, even if you fill the bar, kill the enemy. Sometimes leaving an enemy up can cause the boss fight to bug, and it could instantly kill you or lose you the fight. So just remember that. So we're going to get this started, and I'll give some additional tips on how to handle each of the rooms as we get to them. So you can just pick whatever you want here, and it'll ask you to start the encounter. We're going to skip through all the roleplay and just start where the barricades are coming down. Alright, so the defenses are up. You're going to see the timer here. You get about 265 seconds. We've got one barricade down here and one up there, or down there, and the other two are still up. We're going to go down into the first room, and we're just going to start breaking open these boxes. And we're going to want to kill the different enemies that are in here. There's kind of different patterns to them. Some of them will move, some of them will not, some of them will follow you. You're also going to run into these stronger elites that are kind of like mini bosses. They're not that hard to kill, but they do fill up this bar faster. So this bar here is the one that you need to fill up in order to be able to flip the switch. That's the switch there. Once you've got enough stuff, it'll stop swirling. Also, something to note, there's nothing to loot from these enemies from the boxes, so don't worry about that. I recommend that you open several boxes, as you can see me doing here, and then worry about killing this stuff. That way you can kill a bunch of stuff with your AoE attacks instead of pausing to kill each enemy as they come out. Now, none of the mechanics in here are going to cause you any trouble, so you can ignore the stuff about having bombs on you or, whatever it is that you happen to get. So now the bar is filled up. I check around the room. I make sure that there are no enemies alive, and I'm able to go over and flip the switch here. So once I flip the switch, I'm going to go ahead and hop on this chain. That's going to take me back up to the top, and I'm going to go into the room that's directly diagonally opposite from this one, and I'm going to repeat the process. Okay, so I've got the bar full. I'm going to check and make sure I've got these sparks of life back here, so I'm going to kill them, make sure that nothing is alive down here. I'm going to flip the switch. That's going to reset the timer back to about 270 seconds. And then I'm going to be able to walk into the room adjacent to the one that I just finished. And I'm going to repeat the process again. Okay, so the bar is full for this room. I'm going to flip the switch and head up the chain. I'm going to go to the diagonally opposite room over here. Repeat the process one more time. So I definitely recommend, as you're doing this, that you make sure you take the two big boxes, open those pretty quickly, because those are going to give you the bosses, the little mini bosses, and they definitely contribute the most to the bar. So if you're going around clicking on all the little boxes, then you're not going to know how much you need to do. It might feel like you're going kind of slow. You may actually even run out of time, so I definitely do recommend that you go ahead and get those. As you can see, I killed those two big bosses, and my bar is almost 3/4 full, so now I can just go around, kind of take my time, and click on these smaller boxes to fill up the rest of the bar. Okay, bar for this room is full. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I kill these sparks of life and flip the switch here. And that's going to be it. I'm going to head back up the chain. Everything is going to funnel into the spoils here. Boss has been defeated. There's a little bit of roleplay at the end, and then you are able to loot from this chest right here. Alright, so now we're going to continue to follow this path all the way back to the next boss, Thok the Bloodthirsty. Okay, so as you get into the menagerie where Thok is located, he's going to bust out of his cage here. As far as loot goes, he's a transmog boss as well. So we're going to move up here, and this is really just a tank and spank. You can kind of ignore everything else. Just focus on Thok and take him down. You're going to see all these different kind of creatures and stuff are going to spawn. You might bump into one. They might run by you. You might have to kill them with AoE, but they're not important to actually completing the boss, so I wouldn't worry about them unless you absolutely had to. So just go, take care of Thok, tank and spank him, and we'll come back when we're done. Alright, once Thok is down, just loot the body, and then we're going to head all the way back out down this path to the room that we started in when we first came through the door.